My dear friends, I hope all of you are doing well and have some great plans for the weekend. I know it's been a while since a video has been made, but winter is here, so the NHS is going crazy, and I've been busy for that. I know lots of things are going on. I think you have been following my posts on Facebook. Lots of things have been going on in British politics. But today I want to speak about Bangladesh, the country I was born, the country I was raised in, and the country I did my medicine in. Now, Bangladesh is has a unique position in the subcontinent, especially. By the way, Bangladesh is one of the fastest growing GDPs in the world, fastest growing economies. So that's a very important thing, I think, to highlight. Now, Bangladesh under Sheikh Hasina faces I think, a few fold factors of threats, I guess. Sheikh Hasina, I love her. I love PM Sheikh Hasina. I think she embodies courage, determination, and great statesmanship. Wonderful statesman. I think a lot of subcontinent, like looking at Pakistan, looking at Sri Lanka, I think Bangladesh is lucky that it was Sheikh Hasina leading Bangladesh for the last 15 years or so, or I think it's 12, 13 years. I've lost track of time, but I think credit to Sheikh Hasina for leading Bangladesh the way she has, especially Bangladesh's economy, one of the most secure economies in Southeast Asia, in the subcontinent after India, one of the most stable economies after India, I think the most stable economy after India. So credit to Sheikh Hasina. I know IMF has put out a statement that it's starting the loan talks tomorrow. What I will say is, and this is an earnest request to my friends all over the West, especially in Western countries, Western Europe, and America, Canada, and Australia, and those countries. Please ask your local representative to put pressure on the government so that the government puts pressure on IMF so that Bangladesh's request for 4.8 billion loan actually gets approved. IMF is giving loan to the terrorist state of Pakistan, who will never pay it back, but Bangladesh has paid it back. Bangladesh in the past has paid IMF loans back, and I hope that gets recognized. Bangladesh is one of the most secure economies right now, after India in the subcontinent, and it is one of the most investable economies after India in the subcontinent. So please look at the data, look at the wider data, look at Bangladesh's track record, and please, this is my earnest request. Please make a request to, or please tell your local representative to put pressure on the government, to put pressure on IMF so that Bangladesh's loan request gets passed. I'm not saying that because just like that, I wouldn't say that. Anyone who has followed my channel and who has followed my posts know I'm a fiscal realist. But Bangladesh, at this point, if anything, over the last 13 or 14 years of the Sheikh Hasina government, has shown that it can be trusted with responsible financial discipline. Now, coming back to another topic, and this is, I think, also important. Bangladesh has achieved crazy growth in terms of economic GDP per capita, GDP nominal, like credit where credit is due. But there lies an underlying problem, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. I think problem or underlying risk is the Islamism. Bangladeshi society, Sheikh Hasina, I know a lot of people try to portray her as an Islamist. Actually, she is not. She has led a very secular government, and credit to her on that. But unfortunately, Bangladeshi society has become very Islamized, I guess. There is a huge rise of Islamism, and it is concerning. I hope Sheikh Hasina, Honorable Prime Minister, you look at, you take inspiration from your father, you take inspiration from, I know you already do, but I hope you take inspiration from Kemal Atatürk, people like figures like them, and wipe out Islamism from its roots in Bangladesh. Only you can do it. You have the courage, you have the moral mandate and the ethical mandate and the people's mandate. If you do it, nobody will question you. Please, please, please look into this very serious topic. Very, very, very serious topic, because Only you can create a beautiful Bangladesh that you have created economic giant in Bangladesh in the sense that in terms of economic growth, but you can create a social Bangladesh, a socially competent Bangladesh that looks to the future, that looks to innovation, and I hope you look into that. I'll say this, and I know I'm praising PM Hasina a lot, but actually I do love her. Like she is amazing. I think she is having looked at the Rajapaksas, having looked at Imran Khan and all the jokers in the Pakistani political spectrum, I'm so glad that like we have PM Hasina. I'll say this: Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib, the father of the nation of Bangladesh, played a critical role, actually played the biggest role in the independence of Bangladesh to have Bangladesh today. But modern Bangladesh is the embodiment of the vision of Sheikh Hasina. And I think, I know this is a very controversial thing to say in a positive way, but I think Sheikh Hasina has surpassed Bangabandhu, her own father, in terms of the role that they have played, in terms of the role she has played for Bangladesh. She, I'm very sure Bangabandhu is smiling in the heavens, very proud of Sheikh Hasina's achievements and the vision that she has shown and the direction that she has taken Bangladesh economically, socially. Yes, there is a lot to do, and it's not only the government. It's not only Sheikh Hasina that can do it. The people have to wake up, especially the people, the Shushil Samaj, the intellectual society who needs to come up, who needs to speak up against rising Islamism in Bangladesh. Another thing I will say is, I love the way Sheikh Hasina has sort of like redirected her foreign policy. I think there was a element in Bangladeshi foreign policy. I think there was an element that Bangladesh was being very close to China, buying this, buying that. But I think the way Sheikh Hasina, after seeing Pakistan and Sri Lanka, has reorientated the foreign policy towards India, it is amazing. Bangladesh, to those who think, well, when I used to grow up in Bangladesh, Bangladeshis have a very, I guess, high estimation of their own country in terms of geopolitics. I'll tell you this, dear Bangladeshis, and you might not like it, but this is a fact. Bangladesh, in terms of geopolitics, irrelevant, very, very irrelevant. But Bangladesh's relevance can only be there if Bangladesh hitches itself to India. And I'm very happy to say and see that Sheikh Hasina has reorientated Bangladeshi foreign politics with India, with Indian interests. A lot of people say, oh, she's giving up a lot to India. What are you expecting? India is the military superpower, the regional superpower, the main superpower, the next big economic power. What do you expect Bangladesh to do? You have to be careful and play your cards right. And Sheikh Hasina has done that. Look at what happened to Ukraine, and look at the death and destruction. What Russia is doing is immoral and unethical and wrong. But when you are surrounded on three sides by a big behemoth like India, an economic power and a military power, you have to be careful. You can't just go around and show off. Bangladesh is not in the same position as Israel, where there are fragmented countries. Bangladesh is surrounded by, on three sides, by a unified India. And it's also good to see the great relationship, burgeoning relationship between the Bangladeshi establishment and Indian establishment. There has always been a cultural establishment. I can speak fluent Hindi. Any of my Indian friends who has met me personally know that I speak fluent Hindi, because Hindi channels come over. So cultural exchanges have always happened. West Bengal speaks Bengali. Bangladeshis speak Bengali. Now, cultural exchange doesn't always mean like exchange of ideas, but it's now great to see that that is also starting to happen. And I think a lot of it is primarily driven by a very booming relationship between Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. understand this, Bangladeshis. Bangladesh will have to play the role of a younger brother, an obedient younger brother to India. Without that, Bangladesh is irrelevant. No foreign power, doesn't matter Russia, doesn't matter America, doesn't matter any country, will prioritize Bangladesh's ideas or interest over India. India is the, I think, 3.4 trillion economy now, and India is the priority now. No other country, no country will go and prioritize Bangladesh over India. So get that out of your mind. And if you can't, then that's your problem. But one thing I will say is, and I think I remember this happened in 2001, where correct me if I'm wrong. It was the Bajpayee government. It was BJP who actually thought, oh, a BNP government would be better, but that actually cannot happen. That actually led to very disastrous outcome for India as well, because the Tariq Zia, who actually is in UK with all his corrupt money, Tariq Zia, the son of the former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, actually was transferring weapons to the east of India, to Tripura and all those states. India, my dear Indian friends, especially in an Indian establishment, back Sheikh Hasina, back Prime Minister Hasina to the tilt, please. She's. If you want stability to your east, she is the key. Nobody else can guarantee that. Having said that, one final thing that I wanted to touch on was, I get a lot of text from Bangladeshis that, oh, you promote Western values and Western democracy. What about Western democracy in Bangladesh? Now, I want Bangladesh to be the Israel of the Middle East technologically and economically, not militarily. I don't think Bangladesh being a military can be a military in the or military power in the form of Israel because of the geopolitics. That's different. But to be an economic and technological superpower, you need to be open-minded. You can't Islam. It has been historically proven over the last 100, 200 years that political Islam and technological superpower doesn't go hand in hand. It's actually inversely proportional. So yeah, that's there. And one of the other things that I get told is about Western democracy in Bangladesh, Western style. Actually, I don't think Western style democracy will work in Bangladesh. Western style democracy in UK has been there for so long, like at least 300 plus years, and it has taken so long to get to its current form. And even then, we are not perfect in UK. Bangladesh is not ready for a Western style democracy. Bangladesh, if there is a Western style democracy tomorrow, Bangladesh will be taken over by the Taliban, which will be headed by Jamaat Islam and BNP. We cannot let that happen. Bangladesh is not ready for any Western style democracy. Bangladesh has democracy with Bangladeshi characteristics. And at this point today, in 2022, that is the best form for the Bangladeshi people. The people do not realize how important the current status quo is for Bangladesh, and how Bangladesh is seen in the West as a modicum of stability, and a friend to India, and a modicum of stability. And I really hope Prime Minister Hasina takes on the mantle of rooting out Islamism and Islamist terrorists. I know for a fact that the Western countries is supportive of Prime Minister Hasina and will continue to support Prime Minister Hasina. And I really, really, really hope IMF approves the loan, a 4.8 billion loan, because I know how important and crucial that is to the Bangladeshi economic stability, because Bangladesh already has 38 billion in its in its foreign exchange. What I know is that 4.8 billion will provide even more stability to Bangladesh's economy for at least the next 3-4 years. And I hope they do that. So I'll finish my video with, again, a plea to my Western friends. Please, please, please ask your local representative. Please, please, please ask all of you, all of the people, all your MPs, your ministers, to put pressure on the IMF so that the loan for Bangladesh gets approved. Have a great weekend, my friends, and goodbye and take care. Bye bye.